Developed, created, and owned by James PoeArtistry Productions.
This is a James PoeArtistry consultant moment, and this can stay for the record as well. I want to make myself clear on the persons I'm about to address. Believe it or not, even if it applies to ones who are in the true sanctuary, I'm not addressing this to you. I'm not addressing this to you. Okay? That'll be a different subject altogether, a different time altogether, and all the same, it's God's time altogether. I actually want to address this to ones who are intellectuals, who took it upon themselves to not think of themselves as being discrimination or discriminatory types of persons. But I'm here to tell you very much today, you are, or you have shown great discrimination. And see, normally I wouldn't even address something like this to persons. But as I told you, there are certain things when the persons cross the line. And when they cross every single one of your boundaries, your personal boundaries, I mean, professional, spiritual, emotional, so that you cannot even have the basic decency and medical care that would be given to humankind and mankind because of your intellectual eliteness in thinking. And you actually attack a person in that way while still fooling yourself that the reason why you're doing it is because really of the way that your own mind and everything is made up. And then after the person proves you're wrong or incorrect in your thinking, try to discard that person and still not give them what was actually due them in the first place or what they already had. But because of your intellectual eliteness thinking, you actually really did hijack, rob, steal, kill, and destroy what it was to fit again, according to your own mode of thinking, that this person really wasn't this or that. Now, I'm going to tell you something a step further. Take someone like myself. I'm not a spiteful person. I'm not even a person that even seeks revenge. What I normally seek is exactly what the Bible actually says we can seek. And that's if somebody rob or steal from you and you know exactly who it is, then you just want your stuff back. And God in his gracious mercy, because of what some people call pain and suffering, he even multiplies that. He says 7 times over, basically, in a lot of situations. So this is God's thinking. And so I'm going to at least tell you, though, or state today why some of these persons in this elite form of thinking, the reason why they did it. You see, when Jesus once again started reforming the Christian congregation to work more closely together, oh my goodness, God's spirit was going out throughout the earth like I don't know what upon these people, starting with Charles Taze Russell, okay? And when this happened, it's like the leaders, the spiritual leaders, if you will, of all different faiths, they couldn't stand it. They could not stand it. And they couldn't argue with the truth that was being coming out their mouths by using God's word, the Bible. And so for decades, more and more of persons from every different background, colleges and everything of that nature was awakening to the truth. and was understanding spiritual matters. So what did some of these intellectuals come up with? They came up with another ideal on how to, once again, trick some of these same persons that gained their freedom, because the truth will set you free, into giving it right back to them. I'm not going to go into all those methods, but that's what they were doing. And so some end up giving back up their freedom again. You see, freedom that God didn't want them to give up. To give them authority to make decisions in areas of their lives that God didn't want them to give up. And so with that being said, no matter what your argument has been made in order to justify attacking certain persons by saying that they don't have no sense or this and that. No, it was to really cover up, again, your fear of the truth that these persons were speaking. And that's why I state it was straight up discrimination. This was your motive behind hijacking some of our businesses and things of that nature. It wasn't that to see if what they say is true. No, that is what your motive was. And you look in the mirror and you will see, and if you're honest with yourself, and know this is what your motive was. To try to take somebody who has a legitimate business and then try to turn that totally into like a sanctuary type setting where it's like, no, you didn't have the right to try to do that. So that whenever somebody was actually carrying out aspect of their professionalism, consultation and things of that nature, to make it seem like, oh, that person should be preaching about God. No, not in that mode or time period. So with that being said, as I said before, it's not a thing of revenge. It's not a thing of revenge. It is actually, once again, you stole something. You took something from persons like myself, big time, and even tried to use the laws of the land to hide behind, which you just can't. And so a person has the right, according to their own conscience, to still try to get back what they have worked so hard for. And certainly not to allow them to sit up there and still take it and then walk away acting like all the benefits and everything that have come about in a lucrative, even profession or company or business, like it all came from them. Yeah, it came from all their subterfuge to gather what was already in that person's mind, consulted mind. Yes, everything has been done under the sun, but all the same, consultants, writers, and everything, they still use their brain and mental and spiritual powers to create still new ways of doing things or processes, or even call right back to mind things that persons may have lost that was causing people to lose a lot of money and time. But by them putting their efforts and their thinking ability back into, okay, let me do the research here. And so once the research is brought back up onto persons' minds, and then they start measuring it, so that it can show, wait a minute, this has a lot of value, from thousands to hundreds of thousands to millions of things of the nature. Okay, where did that reminder come right back from? Okay, who thought it up? This is how you get your CEOs. This is how you get your presidents. This is how you get your counts and things of that nature. So the whole point is, you can't keep flipping back and forth that when somebody comes up with a good idea, a valuable idea, because you don't like them, you make it seem like anybody else could have did it. But then you can see on the other hand, other persons using the same methods, and because they're in the in crowd, they put value with it. Not here. Not here. So my whole point is, you got something to say, you can write it in an official letter to me. Otherwise, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing from my ministry to, again, my profession, persons who I encourage and things of that nature. I do it not only to encourage them, but see, if I enjoy their art and their work, I enjoy their art and their work. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing against the law on that. So again, you got a problem with it, you write me. And if you don't, sooner or later, God will write you. This was a James PoeArtistry Consultant moment. Have a wonderful day.
You have just listened to the Perceptive Readers Podcast. Remember, until next time, if you read something that encourages you to improve or enhance your life for the better, it becomes your reality.